seems to have played really well today. Is it something different? Is it the new year? Don't think it's just the fact I've got some different clubs. It's the fact that I've been custom fit and my clubs are now absolutely suited perfectly to my game. So in the last couple of videos you might have seen we've got a bit of new gear in the bag. Got some Titleist. Now obviously been down 2 centimeters to get custom fit. Started off getting custom fit on the irons, so we worked through the irons. I started off hitting the blade, so I hit the MB to start with, and it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. I played blades for years and I was convinced I was going to walk out with a set. I actually ended up with a set of these, a set of AP2s. Now the reason being is that the dispersion for the blades was fantastic in terms of distance control, because that's something that I'm quite good at. And it was sort of like a sausage shape like this, so maybe looking like 30-foot dispersion. What happened with the AP2 was it just tightened right in, and it was in a really, really tight dispersion pattern. And it meant that the shots that I was hitting were just so much tighter. They weren't really going offline, and I was able to hit the shot shapes that I wanted. I didn't expect to move into AP2s, to be honest with you. So what we are now, giving them a bit of a whirl here out on the golf course. So par 3 here, 169. Normal 7-iron for me is 165. I feel like I can normally get a tiny little bit more out of a 7. So gonna give this a go. Pins on the front, there's pond front right that loops up around the side of the green, and there's a pond short left, which really shouldn't be in play. It kind of takes your eye a little bit, but it's not coming into play. So I'll have a go at this shot and just see how they start to perform on the course. I know that it's cold air today, because obviously coming into the winter and it normally loses distance, but let's see how this 7-iron goes. We're only out here giving it a bit of a trial and just seeing what is actually happening with it. So just getting a little feel of this here. Okay. So I'm just going to try and play my standard shot, which is normally a really small draw into this pin. So the pin's sort of front left, so it kind of lends itself to hitting the shot shape that I like to see. Caught that a smidge heavy, but it's come up a little bit short, so that's probably gone more like sort of 162. So I thought the conditions might affect it, but I wanted to see if I could actually get it there. Now, the thing that I tried was when I was with Titleist, I ended up telling them that I really struggled this year hitting this sort of like little hold off cut shot. So I'm actually going to see if I can play it, because I could when I was on the range. I was really surprised that, given the fact that it's going into something that's got technology into it, it's a forged club, that I was able to really change the shot shape. And I was a little bit prehistoric in my thoughts in that, you know, got a blade, that's an ultimate shot shaping machine. Yet this was the one I was able to do it with. So I want to see if I can actually do this on the golf course. So just give this another go and get a little bit of a feel of hitting little cuts. So I'm going to take a few yards off this, because this for me is sort of the 180 club, so probably playing in the conditions closer to sort of 175. So I'm just going to play a little cut, which normally takes a few yards off for me. So just get a little feel of that shot. Okay, let's see what we can get on the go here. Surprising, that really held its line really, really nicely. It's gone a little bit past the flag, so probably gone about that 175 shot. But I obviously need to get used to distance control on these, but I was amazed that I was still able to do this. So this is where the custom fit was fantastic for me. It doesn't matter which brand you go for, but the custom fit for me showed that I didn't have to have my thoughts. I could only play shot shaping with blades. I was able to do it with this, and the technology in there is really going to help me with my miss hits. Let's go down there and have a look where those 2 balls have finished, and let's have a little go at the chip shot with one of the wedges and explain why I've chosen the grind I have, and then maybe have a little putt on the green. So the 7-iron came up a little bit short, but with the flag being at the front, it's probably playing a little bit short. I didn't have the Bushnell with me to get the exact yardage, but this would have been the ideal club looking at it. You know, a little bit heavy, it probably would have gotten to the front, middle part of the green. It would have been absolutely ideal. The 6-8 little hold off has gone middle back, so that's probably gone about 173. So from where the flag is located, this was the ideal shot if I hadn't caught it a little bit heavy. As it is, we're just short of the green here. A little bit of a short-sided shot, so I'm going to play this with the 58. So I've ended up with the L grind. So I'm sure loads of you guys already know about all the different grind options. This is what I think Whittaker does amazing, is they have all of the different options in terms of sole widths that are unique to how you like the club to interact with the floor. I don't like a lot of bounce. I like to manipulate the club around to play different types of shot using different areas of the sole. So this is the perfect one for me. So I've got 4 degrees of bounce and it allows it to skid through a little bit for me. So I'm just gonna have a little look here, not a lot of green to work with, and just trying to get a little feel of just kind of getting that up over the slope, and then just sort of, hopefully it should just sort of work its way down towards the hole. Not a bad shot, not a great one, but it's okay. It's sort of 6-7 feet right there. Just missed my landing spot, but it came out really nice. I just obviously need to spend a little time with these just to fully get used to them. So just going to head to the next tee of the par 5, but just before we do, have a look at this. The stamping is amazing. I've got DW snow stamped all over the head. It is the coolest touch. And then I've got my other wedges. I have got 2 kids on it and my wife on the 4 wedges. That is a super cool touch. Absolutely love it. You get the chance to do it, make sure you do. Feels pretty special, to be honest. So we've moved over to the next tee, guys. Par 5. This is going to obviously be the perfect opportunity to hit the driver. So this, for me, was the bit that surprised me the absolute most. Not because of the manufacturer, but because of the fitting process. Now, I've played golf for years. I know what I like. I know what I like the feel of, and I know what I like to see. Okay, so I've always fit myself, but I hadn't factored in that these clubs have been getting longer. Okay, and my predominant miss over the years has been a little bit in the heel. Okay, I hit it really straight. Okay, but the miss strikes in the heel, so that's losing me a little bit of ball speed. So what they've done is shorten the shaft slightly, so half an inch shorter than standard, which therefore brought that impact location slightly from the heel, slightly more centered. Now what we saw is on the TrackMan numbers, I was still ever so slightly missing the odd shot a little bit towards the heel. So what we've done, changed the loft, okay, moved it down a degree to 9.5, and then this is the bit where the custom fit can come in, you know. This is where guys who are doing the best custom fit you can have makes a difference. You know, these guys have worked on the tour, they work some of the best players in the world, so they're really able to help me. They can help you as well. You know, this isn't just an elite thing, this is everybody's going to help. What it was 9.5, there, that's where I was hitting it. They then lofted it up and then moved it into the heel, okay? So they made it more upright and more loft. Both of those things move the impact location very, very slightly towards the centre of the face. I'll be really honest, you know, I'd never, ever would have considered doing that to my own golf club, ever. That's why these guys fit for a living, okay? So the fitters, you get an expert fitter, they can make a difference to your game, guaranteed. They can make your game worse, as they proved to me by putting different shafts in, but they can make you a lot better, yeah? I just like what I like, but it proved a massive difference to me by getting the fit throughout the bag. So, little go here with the driver. Let's just see how it flies. And for me, it just launches a little higher, this driver, which is perfect, okay? And I've always struggled getting the driver, getting a high enough launch, so it was perfect for me to get that slightly higher launch on it. And that was, if I ever have to go over anything, I've always struggled. I've always hit a little bit on the low side. So again, that's where the custom fitting comes in. But if you have a stock shot as well, please make sure that your fitter allows you to hit what your stock shot is. I have one that I tee down low. I like to hit this squeezed fairway finder. The guys let me hit my current driver and they could see that I could hit this squeezed low fairway finder out there. They then let me hit the same shot with this new club, okay? I was able to hit the low fairway finder with the new club, but also were able to opt it out and get it a lot higher without me having to work really, really hard at it. That is the benefit of a brilliant custom fit, and I advise every single one of you to make sure you go and get yourself fitted by an expert. So after the tee shot on the par 5 here, find ourselves on the fairway and going to have a long iron into the green. So interesting bit is to help with understand where we are with what's been fitted into the bag was I got fitted for the TMB 4 iron. I ended up trying the AP2 4 iron, hit it amazing, but this one was easier to hit, went a little bit further and got higher flight. So obviously if I can get something that's coming in a little higher and a long iron is going to stop better, well that's going to be great because I'm not looking for maximum distance of roll on these, I'm looking to just try and get them to stop on the green.
Alright, good.
I think something like that.
Almost instantly you started hitting the 3.
So what's going to be interesting here is you hit the AP2 and you said that's already a bit of a higher peak height than what you used to with 4 iron.
Yeah.
We've gone that bit higher again, so is that unusual, something that would take a bit of getting used to, something you do or don't like when it goes like that?
I don't mind that.
You don't mind that?
No, when I get par 3 and it's on the optimum for my 4 iron, if the pin's in a particular position, I feel like I've got to try and work it really hard to get it to stop.
Whereas if it's there naturally, it's just going to go nice and soft.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's potentially where TMB comes in better in the long iron is lower CG, that cast head comes off faster, goes higher, comes down steeper, so you can hit it further but with more stopping power.
So this has been great. Obviously I've always played blades, so I've always seen that ball coming a little bit flat. I really struggled kind of to control it a little bit, so I'd have to work really hard if I had to stop it. It was a lot easier to do with this. So we've got in and around 215 to go here. So that had been a 3 iron previously. I've now not got a 3 iron in the bag because this goes a club further and I could take a little bit of yardage off it just by controlling the grip length. So let's give this a bit of a blast and see if it can get there. So might be able to get a decent flight slightly up the right side here. Let's just give it a go with the 4 iron. Little tiny bit short of the green, but not bad at all. Okay, it's actually kind of wimped out on that one a bit, if I'm really totally all honest with you. I could feel it was a bit squelchy and didn't commit to the strike. So it's a little bit bottom of the face. So probably not a true representation of that club, but I know that give it a little bit of firm conditions, getting into the spring, going off what it was like when I tried it, I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. But for you guys, important. Make sure you get the gap in at the top of the bag sorted. That's what this has done for me. My 3 iron in the bag previously was a passenger, okay? I'm gonna talk to you in a little bit about how I've ended up with the wedge numbers I've got, because basically that 3 iron was never used. Now we've got the right gap in for me. That's gonna help me cope with a yardage that I've always struggled with on the course, and this is perfect for that top end of the bag that went into driver 3 wood 2 iron, and it got that gap in throughout the set, spot on for me. So just pitch this one up onto the green. It's 2019, so keep the flag in, eh? It's the first time I've done this, so we'll see if it is any good keeping that in. Change the putter, but I've always used a Scotty. I've used a Newport 2, because my dad bought me a Newport 2, you know, when I was 19, and I've played with it ever since then. I've always putted really nicely. I would say I'm the best putter in the world. I'm not the worst, okay, but I hit the odd little pull. And the older models of Scotty were a bit light, so mine was actually weighted up by me. I weighted it up to something that I really, really liked. Now what we've gone for Newport 2.5 with it's got a slightly shorter neck. 33 inches, a little bit shorter than I had. And what that did is it got me into a slightly better position at posture naturally. But when you go a little bit lighter, obviously the head weight goes a little bit heavier now. So all those things are a bit better for me. So once again, it's just about finding the right things for you. I quite like a traditional style of grip, not too thick, and this has ended up working out perfect. So they've got all the grip options, so you can just choose whatever it is that you like. For me, the main reason for the 2.5 was that I have a tendency to pull my putts, so it doesn't let the face open as much on the standard Newport 2 neck. The 2.95 has a little bit more what they call toe flow, so where that toe to open just a little bit more. So that's what Scotty calls it. So we'll let this putt and let's see what happens with it. It's got a bit of right to left, but I'm not going to judge too much on this today, 'cause greens are obviously still in winter type conditions, so just getting a nice little feel of the putt. Oh, online. So this is the new putter. I've been really pleased with this. Like I said, I've always played a Scotty, so it was just nice to get something that is going to work for my strokes. It's the same as the other stuff. It's getting custom fit. Find a putting specialist if you need to, who can find the right putter for your game. My only bit of advice on a putter would be find one that you really like, you know, because you don't want to be chopping and changing your putters all the time. I think it's a bit like a girlfriend or a wife. You want one that you'd like, okay? You spend a lot of time with it. If you love the putter, you don't find the excuse in the putter, it ends up being the player. So I've always loved my putter, so it's never the putter when I'm putting badly, it's the guy in the putts. So for you, get yourself fit, find the one you really like, the shape of, and then get it fit to help you hold more putts and something that fits your stroke perfectly. With the 3-wood, I ended up with the TS2 model because it was just really easy to hit, a bit of weight at the back. I've always struggled getting a high flight with a 3-wood off the floor. This was the perfect model. I actually tried the TS3 because the one I actually wanted to use, but I struggled with it. I then hit one shot with this combo shaft and head, which was absolutely perfect for me. Could hit off the tee, off the floor, and even on my miss hits, it was good. So give that one a little par 4 here. So this should be ideal for sort of getting a 3-wood with a little tiny draw off the right hand side. It should be absolutely spot on to then give us a wedge into the green. So having now altered the top of the set and got a 3-iron taken out, obviously I've got a gap. I personally have really struggled with that sort of 100 to 110 shot. Played a little bit, a couple of times last year with my dad, Burnham and Barrow, and struggled on 2 holes that I can think of where I had 105 shot. I was trying to manipulate this little wedge and it just didn't do great. And I don't like to hit my wedges hard. I think they're a precision implement and hitting them soft. So what I've now got is I've gone 58 and 54, different grinds on those. And then I've got the 50 and a 46 both in an F grind. So I'm going to hit the 50 here because I've not hit this on the grass out on the golf course yet. So I just hit this like little sort of half 3/4 one with this. Getting a little feel for knocking that shot in. Let's see how this club flies. Sits great. So for me, that was a shot I like to play, these little half ones. I always hit my wedges in quite low and spinny. This would be where I'd be throwing it up in the air traditionally, but now when else I hit the shot I really like. So again, getting fit throughout the whole bag is really important. You get the gap in right, and then you get the problem areas in your bag covered by making sure you've got the right clubs to suit your game. So I hope from this video, guys, that you see the benefit of custom fitting. I've seen it. I thought I knew a bit about my game, but I've now found the areas in my game I struggle with have got the right solution from the right custom fit. I must say a big thank you to Titleist for doing the custom fit. It was absolutely incredible. You guys go and find yourself the best fitter you can in your area, or a manufacturer, and go and get yourself custom fit. I cannot recommend it highly enough. It will make the world of difference. We don't always wear the same size clothes, same suits. Think of it like that. Get the right equipment that's going to help your game. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Thanks so much for watching, and talk with you again very soon.